Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be ranking my best purchases of 2020 so far. I've done quite a lot of prep for this video. I've been keeping a tally score of everything that I've worn since the 1st of March. I only wish I had thought to start doing this from the start of the year, but since March it's been a little over 4 months now that I've been keeping track of everything I've worn every single day, so I feel like I've got a good idea now of what I am getting use out of and what I'm not really getting use out of. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the top 10-ish things that I've worn the most that I also purchased this year. So I hope you enjoy. If you do like the content that I make, please feel free to subscribe. I upload at least one video a week, although it's 2 at the moment, so I would love to have you on board. So when I say 10-ish items, it's because I was going to make this a top 10 list, but then number 9 and 10 were tied with number 11 and 12. So if I'm going to mention 9 and 10, I also need to mention 11 and 12. So tied in 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th place are 4 items that I have worn 7 times each. The first one being this green shacket that I picked up in Japan. This is a very street style look for me, which was totally brand new to me when I picked out this item in Japan at the start of the year. But since I've had it, I've found so many ways to wear this, and I felt my style changing a little bit towards more street style as well. Not all the time. I definitely have my feminine side and I love to dress in a very feminine way sometimes, but I also sometimes go down this very street style casual look route as well. On those days, I'm reaching for this jacket all the time, and of course now that it's cold and winter in New Zealand and I'm having to do duty at school, this has been the perfect thing to reach for. And yes, okay, I've only worn it 7 times, but still I feel like those 7 times have all been in the last 3 weeks or so since it's been really cold. Like, I feel like winter hit quite late and it's only just started getting cold, so I feel like I've worn it a lot of times even though it's only been 7, I think because they've all been quite recently. The next item that I've also worn 7 times is my black jumper from Max. This is quite new to my collection. I only picked this up about a month ago, so for me to have worn it 7 times already is pretty good. This is wool and recycled cashmere, so it is really nice and warm, and because it's black it goes with a lot of things in my wardrobe already. I do find this very easy to pair with lots of different things. I try and switch up what I'm wearing, especially for my jumpers, because I feel like that is the main kind of draw of the attention out of my outfit. So I try not to wear this every day, but honestly I do love it and I would be quite happy to wear this every day. But 7 times out of the last month means I'm wearing it about every 4 days. Also with 7 wears we have the glove boots from Everlane. These are in the dark brown. I think they're in the shade Espresso on the website. So these have had 7 wears as well. They are very comfortable because they fit to the shape of your foot. All this material around here is elasticated and stretchy. The heel is a block heel, really nice and easy to walk in. It's also not too high. So I do wear these to school every now and again. I wear them in the weekends. I won't wear them if it's raining, so I feel like I'm not going to be getting a lot of use out of them through the worst of the winter weather because of the material that they're made out of. They're not going to be waterproof, but they were great in autumn and I think they'll be great again in spring. And the final item that I've had 7 wears out of since March is this maxi dress, which I also picked up from Japan. You will have seen me wearing this in a couple of videos recently. So it is very neutral coloured, although it does have the pattern that runs throughout, and then it has this little necktie as well. When I'm wearing it in winter with a thick jumper like this one over top, I just put the tie inside the neck rather than tying it up so that it's not creating a lump under my jumper. So instead I just leave it untied and put it down the inside of the dress so that you can't see it. This is the perfect winter dress because it does have all the coverage and it also has an underskirt underneath the bottom half of the dress. Because of the beautiful neutral colours, I'm able to wear it with a lot of different jumpers. I've worn it with this one a couple of times at least, and I have a few other jumpers that go really beautifully with the colours in this. But I was also wearing it in autumn by itself and also towards the end of summer once it wasn't so hot anymore. So I do find this to be a very versatile dress. I'm surprised honestly that I've only had 7 wears out of it, but I think I wore it more before March, but obviously I wasn't keeping score back then. Alright, moving on to number 8, which is again tied with number 7. So these next 2 items have 8 wears each. The first one is actually the dress that I'm wearing right now. Let me just take my jumper off so you can actually see it. So this dress is actually very similar to the previous one that I showed you. It has the long sleeves, it's a midi length or maxi on me. So it does have quite a lot of coverage. Again, it doesn't come up quite as high on the neckline though. This dress is from Max, as was the black jumper that I showed you before, which means that I've only had it for about a month because I think that was when I posted the come shopping with me at Max video. So for me to get 8 wears out of something that I've only had for a month is pretty good. I am absolutely in love with this dress. I'm loving being able to style it up in winter. I find it very easy to style with lots of different jumpers, lots of different footwear that I already have. But I also can't wait for spring and summer to just wear it on its own because the material of it is absolutely beautiful, and I can't really feel it on my skin at the moment because, you know, I've got a long sleeve top underneath, I've got fleecy tights underneath, but I think it's going to be gorgeous year round. The other item that I've also worn 8 times since March is this cream jumper here, which is from Uniqlo, which I also picked up in Japan because we can't get Uniqlo here in New Zealand. This is visually very similar to the jumper that I'm wearing right now, but it is a lot thinner in terms of its material. So it does have a very similar, beautiful laser cutout detailing running throughout, and a high neck as well, and it's also, you know, a very similar color. But the jumper that I'm wearing is very chunky, whereas this one is just a lot thinner. So I got a lot of use out of it in autumn and also the very start of winter, but now that it's properly cold, I'm really not reaching for this anymore, which is fine. It's just the nature of a thinner jumper. I'll reach for it again in spring. I think the color of it is going to be perfect for springtime. But before the weather got cold, I did love wearing this with my sand-colored jeans. I was just loving that very tonal, kind of monochrome, one-color look. So yeah, I've also worn this 8 times. Coming in at number 6 is an item that I have worn 11 times, and it's also from Uniqlo. It is their Heat Tech long sleeve undershirt. So this is not a piece that you're going to see me style up because this is something that I put underneath what I'm wearing for the day. So I would wear this under my dress, under my jumpers, under my shirts, or whatever it is that I'm wearing. You'll never, I mean, you've seen me try it on for try on clips, but you're never going to see it in an outfit. I picked it up in the skin color so that, you know, if I wanted to wear it under something with cutouts, like if I wanted to wear it immediately under this jumper, for example, you wouldn't see the contrasting color. So I have worn this 11 times. I find it perfect at the job that it's supposed to do, which is adding an extra layer, giving me a little bit of extra warmth, and also being relatively unnoticeable. So yeah, loving wearing this. I have a few others that I wear under things, like right now I'm wearing a merino long sleeve top underneath my dress, so I just swap between them, but yes, loving this one. At number 5 with 12 wears, we have my hoodie from H&M. So I picked this up in my very first come shopping with me video, which was very early on in the year, and I went to H&M and Zara. So this one is from H&M. It is just a grey hoodie. It says New York City on the front. It has this nice big pocket. I love the fit of this. I really wanted to get it not like super oversized, but big enough that it was slouchy and comfortable, especially for wearing around the house in the weekends. But the real draw of this hoodie for me is that the inside material is lovely and fleecy. You know, sometimes on the inside of hoodies, they have that really kind of scratchy material. It feels kind of rough, and then sometimes you get the beautiful fleecy material. I go for the fleecy. You've probably seen me wear this in a few videos recently as well. I tend to wear it at least one of the weekend days every weekend, and usually I'm filming in the weekend, which is why you've seen it quite a few times already, I think. And I think I've also styled it up in a few different videos in a few different ways. So I'm finding this very versatile, even with like a skirt, and I've even worn it with my work dress pants. Not to work, of course, because I wouldn't wear a hoodie to work. I have those mustard work trousers from Zara, and I love how they look with this hoodie in the weekend. At number 4 with 14 wears is another item that I picked up from H&M in that same come shopping with me video, and it is this brown jumper. So I had this same jumper in a different color from H&M that I picked up last year, so I knew that I loved the style of the jumper, and I was very happy to pick it up in a new color. I figured this brown, being quite a neutral shade, was going to go with a lot of my other neutral clothes, like, you know, my neutral patterned dresses, and of course jeans as well. I think the reason I've had so many wears out of this jumper is because it was my go-to over lockdown. I remember I was wearing this jumper on the very last day of school before lockdown started, so all the teachers had seen me in this, all my class had seen me in this, and then when I did my very first Zoom meeting with my class, I looked down and I was like, oh my gosh, no, I'm wearing the same jumper that I was wearing last time that you all saw me. And I think that happened about 10 times over lockdown. As I was about to Zoom my class, I was like, no, I'm wearing the same jumper again. And I don't know how it kept happening. I must have just kept putting it on every single day. I have honestly been trying not to wear it quite so much recently because I feel like I've neglected a lot of my other clothes, but this was definitely a go-to for a long time. I only had a few jumpers in my autumn wardrobe and this was one of them, but now that it's winter, obviously I have all of my jumpers out ready to grab, so I've kind of tried to put this one to the back of the drawer so I can convince myself to wear some other things. We have a tie for second and third place. So with 19 wears each, firstly, we have my fleecy tights. So these are my fleecy tights. They look like normal black tights on the outside, but inside they're nice and fleecy and super warm. So they are from H&M. I actually picked these ones up from H&M in Japan, but I know you can get them here in New Zealand as well. I've bought them in the past from Farmers usually. And I only have the one pair of fleecy tights. If I need to put them in the wash, then I will just not wear a dress for a few days. I'll just wear jeans or trousers instead. But if I'm wearing a dress or a skirt in winter, or even usually in autumn, then I've got these fleecy tights on, which is why I've worn them so many times, because it's not like a dress where I've got all these dresses to choose from. It's not like jeans where I've got all these jeans to choose from. If I want my legs to be warm, I'm wearing this one and only pair of tights. The other item tied for second and third place with 19 wears as well is my Hogwarts jumper, which is from Universal Studios in Japan. I freaking love this jumper. It's black, which means it's super easy to pair with absolutely anything, but it also has the Hogwarts logo and says Hogwarts down the bottom, and I love Harry Potter, so I'm so glad. Honestly, okay, story time. There was a different jumper that I wanted to pick up from Universal Studios. It was like the Hogwarts uniform jumper with the V-neck, and it was like grey. It was very preppy. And Jonathan looked at the price and he was like, whoa, really? You're gonna spend that much on a jumper? And I was like, yes, like that's what I wanted to spend my money on in Japan because I love Harry Potter. This was like the thing that I was the most looking forward to. And he was like, well, okay then. And then he saw this one and he was like, what about this one? And it was like half the price, like literally half the price. And I took one look at it and I was like, it's perfect. Like, and all of a sudden the other jumper was like straight out of my mind. I didn't even care about it because this is way better. I just wanted something to kind of like show my love of Harry Potter. It didn't necessarily have to be the Hogwarts uniform. So I'm so glad that he found this one because honestly, if I was by myself, I would have grabbed that jumper, taken it straight up to the till and paid for it there and then left the shop. But because Jonathan was with me and he was still looking around, thank goodness he saw this one. Drum roll please. In first place, the most worn item that I purchased this year with 26 wears is my Everlane trainers. These are called The Trainer on the Everlane website. They are in the shade Off-White. These have totally replaced my kids. So these are my sneakers that I wear with everything. They are a little bit chunkier than my kids, which is like my previous white trainers that I was wearing. I love the off-white color. I find it just a little bit easier to pair with everything. Like for example, this jumper. I couldn't really pair this jumper with a pure white shoe, but with something off-white, they go perfectly. Even if they don't, you know, perfectly match in color, they're just easier to pair together. So I wear these with my jeans. I wear them with my work trousers. I wear them with a skirt as long as I'm not wearing tights, and also with my dresses as long as I'm not wearing tights. So I'm getting a little less wear out of them now that it's cold and I'm having to wear tights under lots of things, but I got so much wear out of them in autumn. I'm going to get heaps of wear out of them in spring and probably summer as well. And I am still occasionally wearing them even now that it's winter and it's cold. I wore them yesterday. I was out to lunch with a friend and we did a bit of shopping and I wore these with some jeans. So still getting wear out of them even though it's winter. Yeah, I've had 26 wears out of them and I think that's quite a lot for something that I only bought a few months ago. And there we have it. Those are the 12 most worn items out of the things that I've purchased this year. I do want to do a similar video at the end of the year where I share my most worn items of the whole year, but not just out of the things that I've purchased this year, but instead out of, you know, my whole wardrobe. So I am still keeping a tally score of everything that I wear every day. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you again next time. Bye!